Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to look at Bootstrap Components. As you know, Bootstrap is a HTML, CSS, and JavaScript framework. So there are a lot of components you can use on your website. Since there are a lot, there's no way for me to go through each and every one of them. So let's look at the components, all the components available. So there's really quite a lot. If you look at this website, W3 Schools, and you can see there are a lot of components you can use. Say, for example, tables, and I'm going to talk about this one first. So, and images, and then Jumbotron, and then there are a lot more, say, cards or panels. And what else? So, navigation bar or forms, form elements. So there are a lot. So um, what I'm going to do is I just wanted to highlight some of them. Those are most likely you could use for your website. So let's get back to my HTML page. The first thing I would like to talk about is tables. How about this? Let me back up a little bit before you use components on your web page. Let's go back to what you need to do to your HTML file. So you need to add this chunk of statements or HTML on your web page, right? So you can start all the way from to meta text and then link statement. I mean, you know this one already, right? Because in your last assignment, you created a web page, responsive web page, and you need to have this statement to make your web page responsive. And how about these three over here, script statements? Yeah, these are for for components that require JavaScript. So if you have, like, for example, if you use the carousel, yeah, like this one, so there's some interaction over here, right? So if you need to have some interactions, then you need to have what? To have these script tags. Yeah. So it's always good to include this. You can include this and you don't have to use them. So you just copy and paste, all these to your header section. Let's look at the first one, tables. So the way to create a table is very similar to what you have done before you learned Bootstrap. Yeah, that's the way you would create a table. Yeah, you can look at this. Let me look at this part. All right, let's look at the first table, basic table. Right, and this is the HTML here. So table, and you are familiar with this tag. When you create a table, you use the table tag. All right. So no exception when you use Bootstrap. Yeah. That's why you need to have some basic knowledge of HTML and CSS in order to learn Bootstrap. That's how this class is structured. So, okay, you start with table. Of course, this open table tag, and then you have to have the close somewhere at the end. And so, if you still remember, table head or T head, yeah, then for what? For the table, for the header section of your table, and then you have TR and then TH for header, right? So the text over here, the HTML here, is the same as you learned before, right? So uh, what is new to you is just this class table, right? You don't need to write this, CSS class because we are using a job using Bootstrap. Yeah, someone has already written, a CSS class for table, and you just use it. Yeah. So, and then the next section in the HTML is the body section. Again, this is not new. When you create a table, and this is the body of the table, right? Yeah, all the way down here, and then you have a footer, right? So this is what you see here. Yeah. So if you just use this table class, the most basic CSS class for table, you would get this. And you see you have all the lines and things like that, and the font size and the font family. They look pretty good already, right? You don't have to do a whole lot, right? And it's also responsive, right? So when you expand the web page, and you can see the table, it's pretty fluid, right? So, and let's look at the second one, striped rows. Basically, it's just alternate colors. You have different colors for every other row here. So what you need to do is you still, let's look at the HTML for this one. Yeah, striped rows, right? So, and you look at this. The CSS classes we use two over a table, which is the default one. When you create a table, you always have this one. And if you want to add some additional features, just like this one, you want to have alternate row colors, then you just add this CSS class table stripe, right? And then it would give you different colors, So, and then look at the next one, compact table. Compact table, basically, you have the height a little bit shorter to make it more compact. For example, if you have a table with like hundreds of rows, maybe you want to shorten the height so you can display more on one single view. So what you need to do is, because you're using a compact table, then you just change, to another CSS class. Let me find it. Table condensed. It's not table compact, but table condensed. So you still need to use this default CSS class plus this one, right? And then it will give you this table. And then the next table style is hover rows or hover table. Hover table, you can tell, right? When you hover over, you can see the row you hover over, the background color changes, right? So you see, right? So again, you just use a different CSS class for hover over table rows. Yeah. So what you need to do is table hover. So now you can tell if you want to. There's one more, table here. So if you want to use to put border on a table, so you can just use another CSS class, and the class name is table border, right? That's it, and it will give you a border around the table. So now you can tell already. Say you can apply different styles to a table. All you need to do is to find out what CSS class you need to use. Once you apply it, then you get a specific style, or a style defined by the specific CSS class. So, okay, and the next thing we are going to talk about is Jumbotron. Let me pause over here.